Hello, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. So let me just start by saying I felt so honored to join the President's cabinet because I know his deep desire to make sure that we are doing everything in our power to reduce burdens for real people and to give opportunity to American families. And top of mind, of course, as you have heard today, is making sure that every American has access to affordable energy, both at home and at the pump. And while our Energy Information Agency, that's underneath the DOE, it predicts that we are going to turn the corner in 2022, the fact is right now that energy prices at the pump and at home are too high. This administration realizes that people are seeing this every single day as they go to work, as they fill their cars with gas, and we also recognize who's hurt the most from this. Low-income families already spend up to 30% of their monthly income on fuel, on energy. And so any price increase for them in particular causes an undue strain, but it causes a strain on everyone, obviously. So to be really clear, obviously, the president does not control the price of gasoline. No president does. But what we're seeing right now is this global mismatch between supply and demand. Oil production is lagging behind as the rest of the economy roars back to life after the shutdown. So we in this administration are leaving no stone unturned as we examine the market to figure out what's behind the high prices. And, you know, that's one of the reasons why the president sent a letter to the FTC last week to ask them to investigate why there is such a huge price difference between the price of unfinished gasoline and then the average price at the pump. And he explained that a little bit in his remarks earlier, but if historical averages were true, today, people would be paying about 30 cents less per gallon at the pump based upon the differential between unfinished gas and gasoline at the pump. So he's asked for the FTC to take a look at this. But this administration has been looking at every single tool that we can use to shield families from the rising costs of fuel. And, you know, that's why the LIHEAP funds is a very important tool for low-income home energy assistance. The American Rescue Plan has additional funds to be able to help families pay their utility bills this winter. And of course, the president today, as Jen just said, has announced that he's directing the Department of Energy to make up to 50 million barrels of oil from the nation's Strategic Petroleum Reserve, or SPR, available. We've been having these conversations with other major economies, as you've heard. And since that has been happening over the past few weeks, we have seen oil prices fall nearly 10%, which is, again, I think, a testament to the president's leadership on looking for every tool possible to bring down the price. Of course, oil is traded on a global market, and the more countries that can join us, the more the impact will be. In response to the president's announcement, clearly the Department of Energy is moving to make two slugs of oil available. One is 32 million barrels from the SPR available through an exchange. And that means that oil that is taken out today will eventually be replenished to the SPR with an additional premium, a premium of additional oil when that amount is returned at a later date. And that's a tool that is very well suited to what we're experiencing right now, which is the high cost of gasoline, and knowing that over the horizon, the projections are that the oil prices and therefore, hopefully, the gas prices fall. So bridging that time is what the SPR is being used for. And then that also means that we will be accelerating 18 million barrels of oil from congressionally mandated sales that we are moving forward, 18 million barrels for that. So we're taking these steps, obviously, because we have to meet the immediate need of affordable energy and protect families from further pain at the pump. Oil prices have not been this high in 7 years. And to be clear, the president is prepared to use every appropriate tool to ensure that Americans have access to affordable energy today. Some, because low-income families and middle-class families and working-class people are suffering the most, he wants to make sure that he has got a robust array of tools, and he's prepared to evaluate them and use them. But as we look ahead, the situation shows that we've got to stop relying on one source of energy, especially from volatile sources. So we have a short-term issue and we have a long-term issue. Relying upon volatile sources or relying upon fuel from countries that may not have our best interests at heart hurts the American people in the long and in the short run. So it's why we're working faster than ever to diversify our energy, to add more clean energy. It's why the president's vision of building out clean energy sources like solar and wind and hydropower and geothermal and advanced nuclear, that is the answer. That is the best strategy long term to protect American consumers from these energy price shocks. The bipartisan infrastructure law that was just signed is going to expand our infrastructure related to clean energy, the electric grid, so we can integrate more clean sources. It's also going to, that bipartisan infrastructure law, as you know, is going to help build a nationwide electric vehicle charging network. It's going to help us build those electric vehicles right here at home with $7 billion for the battery supply chain. I was just in Chattanooga yesterday at a ribbon cutting for a factory that is producing a component of batteries for the electric vehicle, creating 300 jobs in Chattanooga. That's just one tiny example of the whole ecosystem of the supply chain that will be created as a result of the bipartisan infrastructure law and then, of course, the Build Back Better agenda. Just one other thing, the bipartisan infrastructure law also invests $21 billion in demonstration projects for technologies like clean hydrogen and advanced nuclear that will put people to work in every pocket of the country. And then, of course, what's really going to help us escape these energy price shocks in the long haul is the second part of the president's agenda, which is the Build Back Better agenda. And because the clean energy tax credits in that agenda will help Americans save an estimated $9 billion per year in energy costs. It'll make electric vehicles and other clean technologies accessible to every American. And historic investments in manufacturing and supply chains as well will put Americans to work making the technologies, not just batteries, but wind and solar and the vehicles, the whole array of clean energy solutions. So economists say that these bills together will ease inflationary pressures and grow the economy and create 1.5 million jobs every single year. So we're laser focused on ensuring all of these benefits are realized as we aim to achieve the biggest thing that America has ever done to address the climate crisis. Our administration is deeply committed to tackling this existential threat by transitioning to clean energy while at the same time making sure that every American has access to affordable energy. So thank you so much. Happy to